Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of BL4 Lore. I'm Sean, and it may feel like just a few days for you, but it's been over a week since I've played on this character, because I got a little bit ahead with recording, and then it got busy at work and crap, so I took a break from this, and I caught up on editing episodes, and I'm here now. And hopefully this episode sees the light of day, because I've been bouncing around with how to record, and so I'm actually recording my voice audio separately, and I had some issues with this before, but I've been actually speaking with Aegon of Astora, who's been kind enough to lend me his expertise. If you've watched his videos, you know his production quality is very good. Even if he has hiccups, it always looks great, and it sounds great, and it's been really nice to have someone with that sort of experience offer to help me figure it out. So I'm coming in with a new method. Hopefully I can figure out how to get all this audio working and produce a good episode here. And so last time we finally beat the One Reborn. We were in Yahar'gul, where the Mensis ritual was going on, crazy stuff happening, amygdala everywhere. And now we're getting up these stairs. We're gonna go see what Mensis is up to. And yeah, looks like they're just hanging around. Maybe. So this is probably Mikolash, and it's in question if this is actually Mensis, if these are all Mensis scholars, or if they're actually slaves. And I wonder if I can highlight this. There's a great video. There's a few great videos actually. Aegon does one. The name's escaping me, but I will definitely link it. That they talk about in detail Yahar'gul and what's going on here. And it's interesting to note that if you look at some of these people, they actually have like they're like cuffed to the seat, and they're also not really wearing scholarly clothes. It seems very possible that they are slaves who are forced to be here, but to partake in the Mensis ritual, because obviously Mensis has no issue enlisting help, from unwilling victims, as the bagmen make obvious. So yeah, their dress, their attire is sort of different. So yeah, Mensis has done something, and now they're all dead. They're all corpses. And so let's go find out what's going on. See the Cosmos there. The lecture building. All right. This lecture building, which there's a debate if this is a lecture building of Mensis, or that was pulled into the Nightmare, or if this is a lecture building of Byrgenwerth. Trophies seem to indicate it's Byrgenwerth, but there's a definite Mensis presence, obviously being connected to Yahar'gul, so there's sort of points in each favor. I like to believe personally that it's Byrgenwerth, because I think that this shows that after the time of Master Willem, that they continued doing stuff, that Byrgenwerth continued doing stuff, continued exploring rituals, and that eventually they did something that pulled them into the Nightmare. And I even posit this theory, speculative of course, that maybe even Rom pulled the lecture building into the Nightmare because they were getting too close to the truth, and Rom protects the truth. So these slug students, JSF makes a great video, one of my favorite pieces of Bloodborne lore content, if I'm being honest, that talks all about the creatures of the nightmare. And these slug students, in it he talks about how they drop quicksilver and how it seems like it's almost like these slug students are made out of quicksilver. And just an interesting point to note. Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. So, I mean, obviously Mensis, big fans of Byrgenwerth. But Byrgenwerth, you know, could, like, I think this is showing a time of Byrgenwerth after Master Willem has gone suspiciously silent. Hunt the Great Ones. Hunt the Great Ones. And that is a point towards talking about what pale blood is, and maybe suggesting that, you know, there's all this stuff about how to break away the hunt and how to do it, and how to transcend the hunt. And pale blood seems to be a key, but so do great ones seem to be important to that. And perhaps that's what's being suggested there. Is this knowledge that in order to transcend, you need the Great One's blood. Ooh. Alright. Very strange setup. But you get the feeling from this building, it's in the Nightmare. And my reasoning for thinking it's Byrgenwerth is not only does Byrgenwerth feel small and you don't have access to a ton of it, but it would explain in a sense why that's the case, because this lecture hall has been pulled in. But it would also explain why this lecture hall also feels like it's not really part of anything. It's been pulled into Nightmare, but it is incomplete feeling because they're two halves of a whole, one part being Byrgenwerth in the waking world and this being the lecture hall in the Nightmare. The nameless moon presence beckoned by Lawrence and his associates. Pale blood. So this is, for me, a piece that I wrote which talks about how this it's basically adjacencies. The nameless moon presence, pale blood. If that doesn't have a name, maybe they're choosing to call it pale blood. And that's sort of one thought, but also this could be talking about how the nameless moon presence is a great one, and they're saying this is a source of pale blood. Or they're making the connection that has to do with the hunt. There seems to be a lot of research going here, which is another reason why I believe that this is like a late stage Byrgenwerth. 3/3 chords. So you get this idea, 3/3 chords, this moon presence, hunt the great ones, that they're coming very close to figuring out how at least the player character ultimately transcends. But they don't quite put it all together. They have these separate elements, but you get the feeling that they never quite just make it all connect. So, and why this church giant is here is a great question. I think it's because despite, you know, making little sense how a church giant even gets in here, is that we know, so through here is the Nightmare of Mensis, but it feels like almost like this is, Mensis has this connection through here. This is how they find the Nightmare Frontier. And so maybe this lecture hall, Mensis has come in after Byrgenwerth was pulled in, and they're searching it out. And being associated with the church, they you know, they're bringing in, this is representation that the healing church has been here. At least one theory of mine. And this giant is real tough. I don't even know if I want to go against it, to be honest. Real problem. Ooh. Whoa! Oh boy. cramped quarters for that sort of fight. Alright. We'll hop back through here. I think we will fully explore this area at a later time, because there's the Nightmare Frontier, as I mentioned. We may not. We may hop into the Nightmare of Mensis for the time being. Step into outside. Alright. Cave of Skulls. Normal. Cave of like Anger Face. The Nightmare of Mensis. So this is Mensis wanted to communicate with the Great One, and this is the nightmare that they have created. It's gonna some wormies come out. These things are a problem. A real problem. They do a ton of damage. Even worse than doing a lot of damage is that they're really, really hard to hit. Let's see. I didn't want to miss any goodies around here. Alright. Ooh. Don't want to miss some goodies. Almost walks past the nightmare. Crawling nightmare. More Chunk City at this point. So we got this like nightmare dream landscape in the distance. And there's a real question about like what the architecture of this place represents. In the sense that like you know, is this Mensis's creation? Or like what's going on here with all of this? And because I think there's also an idea to be made that Murgo, you know, this is also a creation of Murgo's consciousness, and I think it's something of a blending. I think the very violent nature could either speak to what happened in Loran, or it could be just a product of Mensis. Because I'm sort of the belief, and this is just my own interpretation, because I think it's very easy to think that, you know, the architecture is not quite like Yahar'gul, but it's not entirely different. Yeah, but also, I sort of fall into the belief that I think when it's called the Nightmare of Mensis, that it's almost this interpretation of, like, Mensis gave access to this nightmare. But I tend to at least suspect that, you know, that's just the viewpoint of Mensis, and that really you're looking at this being a thing that Mensis just discovered, not that they created. Whoa. Wow. Forgive me, I was too busy talking and looking around and ignoring the Loran Silverbeast attacking me. Which, as Loran Silverbeast, you know, suspicious name. Sort of a point towards it being a relation to Loran. I'd like to talk a bit more about them as well, because it's another point that JSF covers in good detail. Some interesting stuff about their design. Their connection to Lovecraftian creatures. So along with these golem-looking guys. So you have these Loran Silverbeasts, you have these lost children. And these are both things that have sort of some strong references to Lovecraft creatures from especially the quest of Unknown Kadath, which JSF covers extensively in this video. But basically these things are all sort of an amalgamation of these creatures you see there. And it's just sort of interesting, you know, making that Lovecraft connection very explicit. Obviously, dream language and sort of how Lovecraft represented those creatures. So, I just enjoy that sort of stuff, so what it goes to for its inspirational material. And, this is a lot of spiders. And I personally am not a huge fan of spiders. I would like to get out of that room sooner than later. This is Edgar, acquire intelligence? So, another not towards a choir presence. I went the wrong way. Which I think Edgar is going to capitalize on. Light this lamp. And I don't know if I mentioned it, so this thing's sticking out of you and attacking is a frenzy coming from this creature we will come upon. Which I believe is the sort of a great one born out of Mensis's, you know, stillborn brains. So, Mensis wanted to speak with the Great One, and they sort of got it, but it came at the cost of their lives. What the heck is the camera doing? There we go. Got some mirrors. Seems to be a very Mensis thing. Which is interesting to note. Which is actually an idea of why Mensis is so interested in mirrors is covered in a video I will link. Basically the idea of worried about like outside forces stealing their soul and all this connection, because Mensis does seem very interested in, you know, exploring stuff from within their minds, but they're also very worried about losing their minds at the same time. Ooh. Oh boy. Oof. There we go. Alright. It's been a while since I've been here. Although it's pretty linear. Just trying to make sure I don't miss too much. And so you have here some crows with dog heads because nightmares. Which I think is actually pretty funny because my first playthrough, this is the part where you're just like, yep, shit is not right. Shit is not right in this place. And you got a dog with a crow head. Alright. Ooh. It's a case where bark is as bad as its bite. Little crow dogs perching up there. Kinda cute in a weird ass way. I want to get in there, but that doggo is in the way. Doggo birdo. Can't figure out which version's worse. Oh! I've had a very consistent commenter, Gina MH, I believe, on my videos. Sorry if I've misrepresented your name, but I believe they're talking about shooting the dogs, and ever since they commented about shooting the dogs, I've picked up on giving the dogs a shot because it does take away a lot of the issues of the dogs leaping at you when you can send them flying a few feet and then just follow up with a few hits. That being said, though, my comment section on these videos is worth looking at because same commenter always has really good lore bits to add, especially stuff regarding Japanese translations and just other stuff that really helps flesh out the world. And so I'm about to go to Mikolash, so I'm actually gonna cash this shit in. So let's go do that quickly. Let's see. I should check. Upgrade my pistol a little bit if possible. Let's see. Nope, I'm getting there, but not quite. Let's say budget amplification. Alright. Looks like I've got what's working for me. Section C. Alright. What do I have? Lake. Alright. Change this one. I don't think that's going to be doing much for me. What will help in this area? I don't think I'll be using really much for Mikolash. Sure, why not? Let's see. Alright. Actually, like the bone ash armor. So how would I have these? Huh. Guess I will. Just gonna do that for now. And oh shit! Almost inspired by blood echoes. Getting that number slowly back up after just really losing most of it in the Chalice dungeons. Here we go. Alright. And even though I'm running up on time, I might as well go against Mikolash at least once. Add a little action to what otherwise has been me running around and talking a bit, so. Mikolash is a pretty easy boss, I would say, with the exception of one devastating attack. But at the same time, I don't exactly know what to expect for BL4, so I'll definitely have to see how that affects the fight.
Ah, cause. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers? No, we shall not abandon the dream. No one can catch us. No one can stop us now.
What a crazy son of a bitch. Mikolash, host of the nightmare. Alright, boy. It's chase time. I don't know why I tried picking him. Oh, it's gonna make me run around forever. There we go. Just gonna sum up. Oh! I can eliminate these two guys. See, I don't want to get hit by his attack, so I'm trying to take out these. Oof. These guys hit hard. Alright. Now it's time for him.
majestic. A hunter is a hunter even in a dream. But alas, not too fast. The nightmare swirls and churns unending.
Ooh. Jesus.
Ah, cause. Or some say cosm.
Where is it?
Do you hear our prayers?
Right down here. I don't think I went the right way. Did I? No. Put that up on here. Let's see.
Ah, cos. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers?
Oh, wait.
Ah, cos. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers?
Boy. I am making this look stupid, but Jesus. I don't have a good sense of direction. It's been too long. Where are you, you prick? Do your thing. Ugh. Alright. Ugh. Oops. Oops.
Ah, cos. Or some say cosm. Do you hear our prayers? As you once did for the vacuous Rome.
As you once did for vacuous Rome.
Eyes, grant us eyes. Plant
Whoa,
eyes on our
fucking hell.
bones to cleanse our beastly idiocy.
Damn it.
And lake of mud, hidden now from sight.
Wow. So that was pretty good. Pretty good looking. I imagine that made me look very competent. I'm just gonna give it one more go because that was goofy. It was goofy and stupid. Boy, oh boy, falling off like that. Of course, in this attempt, I'll get all the way there, or not, and get hit by Call Beyond or whatever. Which is always fun. Right. I am back up my galosh. Ah, you can just run in the room. Wants to make it a chase. Come on. There you go. Get in there. There we go. Summon your little boys. Come here. Oh. Ooh. Didn't quite have the room to dodge out of that one.
Oh, majestic! A hunter is a hunter even in a dream. But alas, not too fast. The nightmare swirls and churns unending.
By that again. Now, can I remember where I'm going? Probably not. And down here. Now I gotta go.
Ah, Cos. Or some say Cosmo. Do you hear our prayers as you once did for the vacuous world? Grant us eyes, grant us eyes. Plant eyes on our brains to cleanse our beastly idiocy. When it maketh mud,
That's my cue to not jump off the top.
the cosmos of core. Let us chat in
Alright. Let's hope I don't get where are you? Did that kill me? Of course it did. Okay, one more. I don't want to stop. It's just, you know, making dumb little mistakes. I like the boss fight though. I think Mikolash is at least good as sort of a, you know, spectacle for a boss fight. It's a unique idea, and I tend to be someone who values sort of a unique fight over it being like technically challenging. Like, I'm also a big fan of the Witches of Hemwick, which I don't know if a lot of people are. You know, it's not a hard fight at all, but I think it's fun. Just because something's easy doesn't mean it's not fun and entertaining to do. I wouldn't want everything to be real easy, but I do like a good concept. I like this little run around, even if I'm terrible at directions. Wow. Going in there? Oh, good. Oh god, seriously? What the hell is that? Alright. I am going to call it for this episode, but we will continue next time on Mikolash and further into the Nightmare of Mensis. But thanks for watching.